Good morning. Today we're going to do a quick tutorial on a vanilla A-class ship. This is a little larger tutorial than our last one. It includes no mods. That's why it's totally vanilla, and it only requires one perk, and that is the first point in Spaceship Design 1. Because this cockpit here, as you can see, the Armstrong, a Hopetech cockpit, requires Starship Design 1. Well, we're going to start with a Hopetech landing bay, and we're going to place a Hopetech engineering bay 3x1 right over it on that side there. Now the 3x1 is one I chose, engineering bay. You could choose any 3x1 that's vanilla. You could choose an empty one if you'd like, if you have one available. Now this Hopetech companionway fuselage A will go right here, and I'm going to go ahead and set up its proton beam disruptors. Now these are from Horizon Defense. It is a vanilla part, Class A. And then the missile weapon system goes right there. Why I chose these parts I'll get into just a little bit later as we go on. The cockpit is a Hopetech Armstrong 20R with 260 cargo space and 2 crew stations. Get started pretty good there. Now we're going to add the Hopetech landing gear, both port and starboard sides. Oops, one second, before I can do that, I actually have to add the reactor and the grab drive, which I had actually underslung under the engineering base, like so. Do the same for this side. Now I could put them up here. Either way works. Yes, in fact I think I prefer it like this. We'll just move these forward. And there we go. That's your basis there with your landing gear. Alright, now let's get some more of the habitation going. Now this is the Hopetech Hab cross brace. It's actually a hallway that will allow you to move across here to the 2 wings of this ship, which are going to be, and I chose to use a Hopetech Science Lab 2x1 to go here. And then on the other side, a Hopetech Workshop 2x1 in order to have those functions available to me in flight. It's always good to have your workstations. That this has all your workstations and research station. This one has your pharmaceutical laboratory and also another research station. This is our deflector shield system by Sextant Shield Systems. It's a vanilla part. It'll go right there. The docker. This is a required piece, and the only Hopetech docker that I could get to work on this thing was the side. I chose the starboard side, and we're going to stick it right there. The Hopetech thruster has no function whatsoever. This is a structural piece that I use. It helps to flesh out your ship and make it well, look cooler, I guess. Our side weapons here, we've got a couple of weapon systems here. Now let me zoom in here and a little more detail for you. This is a weapons mount. It helps you to place weapons on your ship. And this is your KE-20 cannon. This is a ballistic cannon. And on this side we will place the other one. Now here's a little more detail on these weapons. We've got proton beams. These are particle beam weapons. Here on the 4 that I set here and here. And the missile weapons. A missile launcher to go right there. Now this ship has a very limited power, so that limits its weapon systems somewhat. But this is still a pretty good setup for the weapon systems. For an A-class ship, that is. Now every ship needs fuel, and the way I'm going to handle that is use these Ulysses HE3 tanks from Dog Star Factories. We'll begin to place these on here like so. Now, cargo. And of course, the ship comes with some cargo space through the cargo, the cockpit. We're going to add a couple of 20-ton hauler cargo holds from Sexton Shield Systems. These have 760 kilograms of cargo each. Pretty expensive in mass, though, and as you can see, they do require Starship Design Rank 1. And you can always switch those out with something else, or just determine you don't need that much cargo space. It's already got us up to, as you can see here, 2,025 cargo. And then our engines, White Dwarf from Relodyne. We're going to be using 4 of these. Place them in there like so. And we're taking shape pretty well here. Now we just need to do a little bit something more for aesthetics, I think, on this ship, because that's basically got your ship there. I'm going to utilize before I forget, a little more cargo here. I threw in a little extra cargo here to balance out where I have the docker over here. So I throw in a Dagama cargo hold. Now I would suggest, if you have the ability to use shielded cargo holds, shielded cargo would go there pretty nicely. Now, I think that has us pretty well. Now, this, what we have here, this is a structural piece for looks, the cowling up here. We have the hull, Deimos hulls. They basically the same size as an actual hull piece, but they aren't actually a habitat. They do have attachment points where you can place things, like the shields, for example. If you wanted to put it there instead of over here. And of course we could put the extra fuel tanks right there. And there you have it. That's your vanilla Hopetech Class A ship. Now, I'm going to take a little extra time here just to give you an example of setting up your weapons. You hit your C key, bring up your messages. It tells you, when you have any error messages. We're perfectly fine here, all systems nominal. And you go over to your weapons. I already have them set up. But what you do is, this one is your left mouse button. So whatever weapon you put in here is what you will fire with your left mouse button. And then this is for your right mouse button, W1, which I have the cannons. And this would be your G key in combat. Now I usually prefer to have automatic turrets here, when I don't have to worry about the G key. They fire automatically. And that's where I would put them here, if you use automatic turrets. And that's a pretty simple system there for the weapons. It works out pretty nicely. You'll get a message if you have a weapon slot that is not being used. Not necessarily an error message unless you have the weapons and haven't assigned them yet. You have to make sure they're assigned. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial on this vanilla Hopetech Class A ship build, and you'll have some great gaming in Starfield.